Hello everyone, welcome to another video. It's me, Solid, and we're gonna talk about a couple of things. So, videos, right? So we have a couple of common videos, and I just kind of want to get around to talking to them, or around to talking about them. But yeah, no, so I've been working a bunch of stuff currently, and I do apologize about me uploading a little bit later than I intended, and I've been trying to keep up like at least so far, at least a day or once a week at least. It's been a little bit difficult, mostly on myself because working on that stuff is a little bit always hard as usual. But regardless, so pretty much I've been yeah, no, I've had like four gotchas that I'm working on right now, extra ones, and I'm planning to work on on them essentially and uploading videos. I think I'm not gonna upload all of them at once because ideally, just kind of like I get to try them out weekly kind of thing. I've been trying four so far a week so far, but there will be more content coming on the channel for sure. And I wanted to kind of like declare a couple of them. I think right now the one on my biggest purview and the one you guys have seemed to like talked about most. Um, yeah, and I keep like messaging you guys, and I'm very happy you guys like it. Didn't think there were so many Grand Summoners peeps in the community, but I've seen that happen sometimes. Where like, hey, there's a game you're playing, and then nobody's talking about it. So like, it's kind of like dead end. There's nobody talking about it, and it's really sad. So I will be continuing it at least for another week. Grand Summoners will be there will be more content. I will be trying to grind as much as I can. That the game is not bad so far. I mean, my main issue right now with it would really just be like trying to get into it, and like since I can't really, it's a mixture of things, right? So I have to grind every other game for at least like an hour, really. It gets a little bit tiring, and yeah, no, so far it's pretty good. That was pretty like one of the more simplistic ones. That one runs fine on the background. I think. Yeah, no, that one's running fine, but kind of to kind of like give you really like an idea. Let me see if I can find it. Uh, okay, so I currently hold on. I need to pull it up on the thing, but mostly because I don't have it quite like spelled out really. So that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Okay. Let's see text and everything else. Yeah. So okay. So tell the art. These are the games I play, and these are the things planning on putting on a video, right? So we got so the main ones that I'm currently planning on making content on, and the one actually I wasn't really thinking about doing too much content on that one, but I won't lie to you. Nikke actually came along and kind of surprised me quite a bit. I won't lie to you. I have been playing that more actively than I would have thought personally. But yeah, no, that one actually I know one person liked it. I'm trying my hardest with Sin Zone Zero right now, and it's not bad. Like I like the comment, but like right now my issue is like I didn't really get a character, and I'm painfully slow if at all re-rolling. I don't re-roll. I have a rule of thumb. I don't re-roll mostly because I find it painful when I do. And yeah, no, it's just it takes a lot of time. I personally don't enjoy it. I have other games that I could play that I don't really have. That's I personally don't feel the need to. Like I use what I get, and so if my count is bad, which maybe a little bit. I mean, I say a little bit. It's like a little bit of an odd one there because the particular reason behind it is because my character, uh, my polls have been really decent, at least on CCZ so far. Though I don't really do too many. Um, I just kind of been like essentially like press testing the game. It's not so long that I wish I could do it, but like I think my issue is like I've been going at it for like at least half an hour, like to an hour, and it's like not necessarily like the game for me. So Yeah, no. So that one's got like a little bit of my like. It's probably got like my least time. Epic Seven and I think Nikke's probably got, like the game that's grabbed my most time unexpectedly. Epic Seven also grabbed my most time, and I know somebody mentioned it. Um, no, I'll give credit where credit is due. Thank you very much, sir. Let me see. I'll shout you out just to say very much thank you for that stuff. Because yeah, no. So oh, by the way, like the content will be coming up, like but yeah, no. So okay, there you go. Thank you very much, Psych, for the comments. I've taken most of your comments. I think I've seen it around a couple of times, but thank you, Strike, for that stuff. So I will be like putting that into kind of like the roster. I so here's the thing, right? So four things happened, right? So I originally thought I had an account for Grand Summoners, at least somewhat started, even at like the base game. I didn't, so you guys already saw that. Epic Seven actually was where my account, where I had an account, which I originally thought was lost. So I've been like trying to get acquainted with it again. So that was like back in the days, back when I had like one of my partners of mine. I had essentially like gone to it. Never really got into it. It's not a bad game. Like it, I think I've got a few bones to pick with Epic Seven. Um, but yeah, this is like my take so far, pretty much. So Epic Seven. So Grand Summoners has been like relatively slow. It hasn't really been that bad. It's just summons aren't going too great. Epic Seven easier to get summons, but some of the more limited ones, the ones that suppose I wanted to get, which is like collab banners for like Grand Summoners. Yeah, no, I haven't been able to get any, and y'all recommended me to stop, so um, I think I will for now. Realistically, I would like at least a waifu, and I would not like the chance of getting Genos or Saitama. Saitama's cool, like they're all cool characters, but like Speedo Soundtonic is like a gamble I'm not really willing to take. Uh, uh, Characters is cool, I guess, but like wouldn't be my top pick. So half the roster is already cut out. If Genos appears in the banner, that's already something I'm not willing to take. Notice, and the summons are really hard to get in Grand Summoners so far, and they're slow. So I've been like it's grinding. It's grinding so far. Epic Seven so far has been like relatively well. Um, and I will be giving like a proper video on each one, but it's just kind of like kind of an update. Um, I think, and I feel like we're about an Nikke one, but I will be uploading more content on it. And I haven't done any because I wasn't really quite expecting it to really be added to my roster. I kind of like, hey, let's try it out. We'll see how it goes. I tried it out. The one of the best events that came over, so that was like the biggest thing. And I do apologize, but I will be playing Bleach in a little bit. But like, this is just kind of like this is like an announcement video, pretty much. So this is going to be the focus on it. But yeah, so that happened. Uh, ZZZ is like the one game that hasn't had my most attention. Really, sadly, it's just I've tried it out. There's a couple of things I will say about the combat. So for the combat's perfectly fine. I think like my biggest pet peeves has really been like the forced switching of the system, like you being essentially forced to swap in a like bad timing. It kind of like gives me like a little bit of obnoxious and like again I like Zone Zone Zero is like it's like a fun game. Like I'm not saying it's not, but like I'm getting irked by like having to. My brother said this to me. Right? If you don't want to swap characters, just pick the one. And I'm like, well, realistically, I just would like the choice whether to swap or not. And I know it's like quick time events, and like if you ever played like what should we call it, Spider-Man, that is like kind of like a game like quick time event kind of esque game. But yeah, no, that like it's not bad. It's just I just would like to stick with the character and like and that's kind of like how it goes. Like for me, I pick a character, I can focus on it, and I like go hard into it, like, and then it just remains there until I master that character, or until I realize, hey, I would like to do something more with this character, then I explore other avenues, and then we go from there. But yeah, no. So that's what's been for Zone Zero. I think one of the biggest things I'd like to point out, like one of my favorite characters is for gameplay wise has been Nekomata, and I think one of the um, second most interesting characters I think for me has been, can't remember her name, but like hold on, it's like the engineer lady, engineer CCZ, Zenless zero character. I mean, well, the biggest thing I know is that she's an anomaly character with, like, I think electric, I believe. I think it might be Grace, her name, possibly. I'm not entirely sure. I need to double check. Um. Okay, so yeah, Bellabog. It is Grace Howard. That is the name of the character I've been like really invested into, or like the one I really wanted to. But surprisingly to me, the one of the ones that has really popped out into my brain has really just been the Nikke Yamada. Like I'm calling her. I don't know if it's Nikamata or I don't know if that's the name people call her, but uh, uh Nikamata or Nikke Yamada. I think it's Nikamata is like the actual name. Nikke Yamada. I think her nickname is Nikamata. I think. Yeah, her Nikamata. I call her Nikke Yamada. I don't know why, but that I couldn't tell you if that was brought up by somebody or not. But that's what I call her. She and Grace Howard have been like the characters I've been like really looking forward to. She I enjoy her like her stuff and things, but I don't know if I'll make any like video on here on my PC. We'll have to double check because my main issue again is just like sometimes my computer lags. I don't entirely get it. CCC has been like a bit of an issue with that attempt, so I can't tell you for sure if it'll run well, but it might sound a little bit awkward whenever I'm making like videos on. Oh, I just realized something. The autocopter on Bleach has been like absent. Oh, that's fun. Hold on a minute. Yeah, I mean, let's see if I can actually capture some other audio than instead. Yeah. Okay. I'm not double checking. I apologize for that. One moment. Okay. Well, apologies for that, but we should have a little bit of audio now. Albeit weirdly there. Um. Yeah. I just clear up. I'm logging into it again. Yeah. No. Sometimes my OBS, I don't know why it kind of mistakes the audio. Sometimes, so it doesn't really capture anything. Wait a minute. Yeah, but no, back to the topic. So yeah, no, CCZ so far has gone like most of my like my least of my attention so far. Sadly, it's just like not necessarily like interesting for my gameplay. It's not its fault. It's just how I just my style of game is not necessarily like hitting like the correct mark with CCZ. Um, I think in the case for what I would like out of it realistically, and something that's just kind of really like tired me like a little bit was the I think people mentioned the essentially like the puzzles into the hollow thing. I thought it could have done like a little bit a lot of like cooler stuff. I know it's like essentially like the simulation stuff, but I don't really feel it fits the game quite as well personally. The stages are fine, but I think they're kind of like essentially on repeat. I think from my understanding, and I say no understanding, but like a lot of us has just been like the same stages, but like different zones. It could be just kind of cut and paste together, kind of like Frankensteiny. It may not necessarily be the like the worst thing ever, but I have it on challenge mode, so it's been relatively slow for me for that reason. But that's perfectly okay, I think. Realistically, my main issue just has been like being forced to swap, really. And yeah, no, because like, so it's TLDR, like 2 options, right? Swap now or 3 seconds. 3 seconds of delay, and you have that choice. They do give you the choice. But at the same time, would you really waste 3 seconds for that type of stuff? And that kind of like brought up an issue with that for me, and it's just kind of like a bit of a minor issue. I say minor, but no, it's just like really irks me. Because I have to take a little more time because just kind of like. It's not particularly for ZZC because I do have like more concerns about Grand Summoners, but I just need to write a couple of them down. Yeah, no, because like I try to think about them like they're like particularly like very specific. Like the game itself is fine. I like the mechanics. I like the frame of it. I think for me, like one of the biggest killers of that stuff has really been just the force swapping, as well as kind of what I would consider under like the dark patterns kind of prospect of it. And the reason I bring this up, right? So, and it's nothing like super crazy. It's nothing to do with like summoning or like stuff like Diablo 4, right? It has to do specifically when in mobile, I have a button, and this happens like real, and this can happen like a lot. You could fuck up an entire rotation, pardon my language, but you could mess it up really badly because the buttons on the UI on mobile are literally right over each other. I try to tap the attack button, and I'm bound to hit the swap mechanics. And I think that is not only obnoxious, it leaves me little choice as to who to swap. And like it's like a split second decision, but it's really not. It's a second where you could be just tapping the button, trying to like essentially like do your combos or whatever. And like and here's the thing, right? So I'm in the zone. You're in the zone. You're hitting the button. You're like swapping. You're clicking the button, and then you click it on accident, and you messed up a rotation. That has been weirdly, and I'm not necessarily like super high level, but I can see how instantly this messed me up while doing a rotation. If I pop a buff up, and then I randomly switch to another character, I'm annoyed. I just messed up the rotation, and I'm trying to do that. And mobile is not, and like PC and the other ones, they're not that much of an issue. But I can't really play it too well on PC, so I'm stuck in the mobile prospect of things, and I'm having issues. That's really kind of one of my biggest things. It's just to do with like the UI on mobile has been like really obnoxious to me, as well as the force swapping. The force swapping, I would like a choice whether to really swap or not. It's a quick time event, so you have no choice. You either click it or you wait about 3 seconds, which, like, I'm not gonna hold it. Probably might be some ADHD stuff incoming. Like, I can't say I have it, but like, it's just obnoxious. I'm like, okay, 3 seconds. But I could just click a button. I'm like, I just don't want to click the button. I just didn't even want to click the button. That one was like really annoyed me. But as the similar gacha pulls as Genshin is kind of like usual stuff. It's just I just necessarily like it. It's just how it goes. Specifically, I know this is like Weather and Waves, kind of like the stuff complaint, like common complaints. I think it's really unnecessarily like far to get the guaranteed selector at like 300 points, and might be a little bit like complainy, but I'm not gonna hold you. If within 300 pulls, a lot of things could happen. 100 pulls, I could get a character. I could get no characters. There's a very high likelihood I will get a character. I got a character in 10 pulls. Like, for God's sake, man. We're talking about, I pull in a character, pull in a banner. I have the character that I don't want. Like, I'm not gonna hold you. If I'm focused on one particular character, I would like to invest time and like the currency in it that I get. And it's just been a little bit obnoxious in that one. Like, I think this might turn more of the Zenless on serious stuff and things, because that one's like the one that's bugging me the most. Each one of these games has like their own complaints. Like Grand Summers is just like the grind is a little bit slow, but the game is perfectly fine. The auto system is perfectly fine. I think it's like pretty good. I haven't really gone around to a dailies because it just feels like I have the freedom to do them or not, because they're not quite as uh, they're not quite as unrewarding because there's game content in it already. A similar thing with Epic 7. Since I'm coming from an old account, I've had less of an issues. I think from like a new game perspective, it would be even less issues. Though I do get it like a little. I have been playing for like a nice book for Epic 7. Sin Legend Zero is a new game. Has like I have to give it the benefit of a couple of doubts, or a few doubts really, and like this kind of like the prospect of mature games really that kind of comes to play along with it. A lot of newer games, they don't necessarily have the essentially like the backing of like the older content to get more summons or a little bit more thought out processes, or essentially like trial and error testing from players. And that's kind of like one of the issues that comes along with it. And I do think like the puzzle and the labyrinth system has been like talked about in like several things in the past. For me, like it's not. I just don't necessarily like to do puzzles all the time. And since I do stuff relatively fast, it just kind of like it's just like essentially like 5 minutes of dead brain thinking, and it's like okay, skip story, skip story, skip story. And I wanted to get like invested, but like I'm not necessarily sold on it quite yet. So I'm just kind of like. From ZZC, I want to test the gameplay. I will come back to the story later. I think it's fine. I'm just not entirely sold on it. And I wanted to get like a more general perspective, but like I'm definitely there for the gameplay, man. I'm just there for the gameplay. I won't lie to you. Because I won't lie to you. I will pay attention to like more of the later stuff, but like I've just been like, this game has been like rough on me, like to play it. And if it was like a little bit more natural for me, and it's just perhaps I'm like more biased than I'd like to say. It's just kind of how it goes. I do apologize for that. Like I wish it was like more like an unbiased opinion, but like man, like some of like the irritations on this would have been perfectly fine. Without them. I like this. The system of the puzzles I think could have been done a little bit like easier to implement. Really, I think like the mini games they have are like really good. From what I've seen, like they're honestly like I'll give them like credit where credit is due. Nikke has like a bunch of mini game systems, so I like, truly enjoy it. That's why I've been like stuck to them like hot butter, or like sticky glue, something like that. But yeah, no, like the systems they have are fine. The mechanics are fine. The UI is kind of, it just kind of feels like really just like most of my games like this. Like this is like the mainstream. This is just where I sit and this stuff, right? It's just kind of like how it feels. I'm like, okay, I don't need one more of these. CZZ is like a more active game, and I feel like I'm clicking buttons for that reason. But like. I so far haven't really spent as much time fighting as I would like to, and some of the fights are just long for, I guess just for being long, and I'm just not feeling like I'm dealing enough damage. But that's a challenge one of things, right? And I may test out like going off from challenge mode once all is done, but I will be giving ZZZ more time. I think just gonna like get like a little bit more into it. I think I'm about level 20. That's where I'll really stop. Because realistically, like, I'm not gonna hold you. I'm trying to see if I can get just a character from the banner. Like, and right now, like the new police officer character that came out is cool. I want the Nikke sword woman that I saw. I've seen people do the quest a couple of times, and I want the sword. And like I won the sword Nikke, or the sword sports girl. That's who I want. That's who I'm waiting for. I will drop everything as soon as she drops. But I will probably be playing much of the game solo. I think for like my characters. As much as I'd like to do other stuff, I will be probably doing that stuff solo. Uh, Particularly not because I don't want to like shoot myself over like the DPS wise, but like I'm not enjoying the mechanic of swapping, and if I can just kind of stop that from happening, I will be perfectly fine running solo. It might be much more difficult than it's probably intended to, but I really do not like this mechanic. That is really like the biggest thing that's like irked me from playing it. That just that like this is what like really like stained it for me. And it feels like it's like one of the base components, and like people if people like this, people like this. Um, this is it. If I can stop this from happening, that would be lovely. Um, and generally, I think what they could have done for this mechanic is like realistically add another button, like a right button to activate the swap mechanic when it's available. Because they have a swap button, but even the problem with the swap button is that you don't get to pick who it is. It's just like the next guy over is who you pick who swaps next. I think I'm not entirely sure if you get to pick really, but then haven't gotten the feel from that yet. And if there's a way, let me know. I think you might be able to do that on PC, but again, mobile because I can't play it on PC, which is weird. Well, not as enjoyable as I'd like it to be, especially like since it's like a kind of like a quick game. It's really difficult. But regardless, Grand Summoners, Epic 7, give them a take. So from Epic 7, let's talk a little bit more about it. So Grant is fine. I finally figured out the way to auto properly. So that was fine. I think right now my biggest concern is that I genuinely feel like I don't know a thing about the game. And let me be specific about this. I tried the game. The Draft Arena mode. I felt like I got entirely bamboozled by the game. I don't understand it, and I felt like I was lacking knowledge. Like a mile of knowledge. But that's kind of how it goes. Ideally, I will kind of get the hang of it. I think there's like generally a few too many characters for me to kind of get the hang of it like soon. Let me just say. So that one we'll see through testing because I would like to play that one a little bit more. So that one is like in the for sure we'll be playing it like a little bit longer. We'll see how this goes. This will probably have like a 2-week testing as Grand Summoners. I think the only one that I will say for sure that will actually be added to the common roster is actually Nikke. Nikke will be added sometime soon. I'm not gonna hold you. That one has been like a kind of like necessarily a bit of a guilty pleasure. I actually enjoyed the story of Nikke more than I thought I would, and I've been sold on it. I genuinely thought that the game story was quite really stunning. I'm not gonna hold you, especially for what I thought was gonna be more boots, butts, and or like boots, coconuts, and among other things. And I will be talking a little bit about it, and I just don't know what I will be allowed to show. That's kind of like the biggest thing like that's been delaying me. But either way, that game will be added to the regular roster. I will try and see what I can do about it because I like the game. I don't know how much I can show. Again, it's just kind of like essentially like suggestive content is like really weird with what I would suggest think from YouTube. So I don't want to do too much from that one. And I we'll see about it. I will be talking about it. I would probably like censor some stuff. We'll see. But like I'm not gonna hold it. If I like worst case scenario, I will be talking about it. Just not playing the game. I will be talking about like the game itself, because the game itself is well. I'll tell you this, right? Story, 10 out of 10 so far. I'm enjoying it. It makes sense. I have been stunned and flabbergasted by the first like videos, and the story has remained the same. They made me care about the characters. That to me was the biggest impressive thing. I couldn't believe Nikke had the like they had the gall to do that to me in like the first one. I am impressed. I am more than gonna continue playing this because like the game is fine. The game like the auto's fine. It's like an AFK game. It's like very nice. It's kind of feels like a Master of Gardeners right now, where I'm just like playing it like as a kind of like a game to enjoy, like the story of. and then just gonna absorb it in and then play it because the characters are pretty. Kind of falls into the same category. I think it falls more, even more, because man, the minigames are sick. I won't lie to you, the minigames are super sick. As somebody that just kind of like never really thought about like minigames like in a game really being that big of a deal sometimes. Oh man, that's crazy. But yeah, that's kind of it for my take for the. I think for the games, Nikke will be added sometime soon. I think for like the continuous roster because I am gonna be playing that for sure forever until I like either like get tired or whatever. But like Nikke's good. Nikke's good. Story is good. The game is simple enough and like easy enough to understand. I actually cleared up the story that they had before the event went away from like the summer event. So that surprised me because I just actually ended up caring about it. I got through half the thing and then I went to actually read it and I was like, "Ooh, Nelly, that actually felt the motion." But yeah, no, and even some of the voices, some of the characters I've had, like I know I know a few of the characters, but I like the voice actors are I don't know who like their name is right, but yeah, so that's been it. I will have to. So this video is gonna. I will be doing other videos right after this, but this is not gonna be included into the video because I think it's where it ends. Thank y'all for watching, really, and if you watched all the way through, thank you very much. I wanted to have audio from Bleach just to kind of like a little bit talk about it as well a little bit, but the audio ended up failing since I didn't restart the game itself. So regardless, this has been it for the video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I hope you stay solid. Bye bye.